Do you ever find yourself wishing that you knew some simple and effective ways of putting a quick stop to anxious thoughts or worries? If so, then I want you to keep watching this video because I'm sharing 3 powerful grounding techniques that are going to help you achieve peace of mind. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dominique Woodward. I'm a trauma-informed life coach, and this channel is all about teaching you how to heal from the past, live in the present moment, and thrive in the future. So if living that kind of life sounds amazing to you, then go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. In today's video, we're gonna build upon our conversation from last week because I'm gonna share with you 3 grounding techniques that you can begin to incorporate into your life today. And if you haven't seen last week's video, I'm going to leave it linked in the cards because I think it's a very important starting point for you if you are new to my videos. And it goes without saying that we really can't create change until we fully understand what it is that we are desiring to change or needing to change. And last week, I shared with you what anxiety really is. So again, go check out that video after you're done watching this one. I also have an amazing freebie for you guys. So that is going to be linked down below in the description, but be sure to watch till the end because I'm going to share with you some ideas on how you can use this freebie and how I even incorporate some of these activities into my own life. Now, as I mentioned, today I'm sharing with you 3 very powerful grounding techniques. And I want to first start off by defining what grounding really means, because when I first started my healing journey, I had no idea what it meant to get grounded. And so when we talk about grounding within the body, what that is meant to do is to bring attention to your present moment. Now, this is extremely important, especially when we talk about anxiety, because last week I discussed about how anxiety is really alarm within the body. And this alarm turns into anxious thoughts and worries and what ifs and worst case scenarios. So we end up in this vicious cycle of thinking within our mind. So when we're experiencing anxiety, or also known as alarm in the body, it is very important that we learn the process for bringing ourselves into our body to alleviate the distress of our overthinking. So getting grounded pulls you out of your thinking mind and brings you into your present moment and into the safety of your body. And I like to think of it as putting a scratch in the record. So if you're thinking about that cycle of overthinking, when we then bring ourselves into the present moment, we're putting a scratch in the record. We're breaking that chain, that cycle. And as we create a daily practice of this, just like anything else you're practicing, over time, it becomes easier, it becomes less overwhelming, and that scratch in the record is what creates that break in the anxious thinking and gives you that signal to bring yourself into that safe moment and to recognize that your thoughts are just thoughts. Let's just jump right into the 3 grounding techniques, and we're going to start with the first one, which is to straighten your posture and use a 1 to 2 breath pattern. So what we're looking to do with this grounding technique is to get ourselves in a seated position with our feet flat on the floor, sensing that firmness and support. Straightening your posture by imagining a string attached to the crown of your head. And from here, you're going to take a nice slow breath in for 4 seconds, and then a slow exhale of 8 seconds. So this is the 1 to 2 breathing. And the reason why this is great to calm our body, to calm our nervous system, is because it directly affects the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest. By enhancing that exhale to be a little bit longer than the inhale, we're signaling our heart rate to slow down and to be more at ease within the body. Now, when I'm doing this myself, I like to perform this for at least 1 to 2 minutes. But everyone is certainly going to be different. So you just want to make sure that you're listening to what your body is needing and doing well with. So it may be up to 5 minutes of you doing this. It's something where you can certainly just play around with the timing to figure out what is going to work best for you. The way you're going to know if this is really helping to improve things is by just noticing inside your body, what is your energy feeling like? Do you feel that you're still kind of edgy or fidgety, or do you find that you're feeling a lot more calm and relaxed and present? So moving on to the second grounding technique, and this is to simply hold a piece of ice in your hands. Now, the powerful thing about this technique is the sensation of the ice within your hands. It creates this jolt, this surprise when you're going from such a strong change in temperature. And as you're holding this ice in your hand, I want you to just take note of how is it feeling in your hand initially. Obviously, it's going to be cold. Does it maybe feel like it's a little burny or achy? How long does it take for the ice to melt? And also, how does it feel over time as you're holding it and watching it melt within your hands? Now, of course, this particular technique is really best done at home because if you're out and about, you usually don't have ice on hand. So this technique will be a little bit more limited, mostly for when you are at home and in need of grounding. Now, for the third grounding technique that I'm sharing with you today, it's to use anchoring phrases. So what that means is you're again going to get yourself in a seated position with your feet firmly grounded on the floor so you feel that support. And you're going to begin stating facts such as your name, your age, where you live, today's date and time. Maybe you're looking around your environment and you're noticing the weather. Is it raining? Is it sunny out? So you're taking note of things that you are seeing, even hearing, or feeling in your environment. And continuing this process of creating these phrases and naming things until you feel more sense of calm and peace. So those are 3 very powerful grounding techniques that I have used very regularly with myself and with my own clients. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I have a freebie for you. And this freebie includes 6 grounding techniques. And I like to call this my grounding menu. And I have quite an extensive menu of my own right now, but I wanted to provide you guys with your own menu and one that you can pick and choose what works best for you at a particular time or just for your own needs. And so what I recommend with this menu is to simply first familiarize yourself with these activities, even if you don't need it at that particular time. I always recommend familiarizing yourself because the more familiar our bodies are with an activity, the safer they will feel. And therefore, in the time of actual need, when you're feeling triggered, that safety is going to be a little easier to achieve. Now, again, with everything else, it takes practice and also recognizing when something is too much for you. If you're closing your eyes while you're doing your breathing and it feels overwhelming, maybe you're going to want to open your eyes so you can keep an eye on what is in your surrounding. If you feel that using the anchoring phrases just isn't doing what it needs to do, then move on to another technique. So this at least gives you a few wonderful activities to start with. So over time, as you're testing out these techniques and adding some of your own, You'll then be creating your own grounding menu that you can continue to add upon and have as a go-to resource when needed. Now, before you go, I would love to hear from you down in the comments. Have you tried any of these grounding techniques? And if so, which one and how did it work for you? I also am always wanting to hear of new techniques. And so if there is something that just has worked wonderfully for you, please share that down below. After all, this community is all about sharing and we can learn from each other. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button so I know to continue making content just like this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so because I would love to see you back here. Now, next week's video is going to be a little different because I'm sharing you a little behind the scenes of how I practice regulating my nervous system in times of feeling anxious or overwhelmed. It was just a quick kind of spur of the moment video, but I think that is what is so wonderful about it because it was not planned and it's going to give you guys a peek into how you can apply some of these techniques that we've been talking about over the weeks and to see it just all kind of pulled together. Thank you so much for joining me today. And until next time, sending you so much healing love.